Welcome to the post-race show of the South African Endurance Series, Rounds 5 and Round 6. The Spring Motorsport Festival will go down in history as a very special event. The SAGT delivered once again with a spectacular night racing event, the first of its kind in South Africa. The race weekend will also be remembered for the crowning of the first GT3 national champion. Let's take a look and see how Silvio Scribanti secured his championship title. Qualifying saw Arnold Neveling take pole in his Paget Racing Audi by 0.15 seconds from Michael Stevens' Ultimate Outlaws McLaren. Silvio Scribanti's Kemza Lamborghini was a further 0.24 back in third, but 0.19 seconds ahead of his championship rival Dane Angel in the Autohaus Angel 488. The returning Andrew Colbert in the second Bigfoot Express AMG debuted his new car after a 2-year absence from racing. There was drama for the championship leader Silvio Scribanti before the start. As he left the pits to go to the grid, he felt the Lamborghini's clutch slipping. But just as he thought he would have to sit it out, his father, Celso Scribanti, handed over the keys to his Lambo. Moments later, he continued his championship campaign from the back of the grid. As the pace car peeled into the pits, Neveling, with the benefit of warmer tyres, kept a tight line into turn 1 to keep Steven at bay. The Audi emerged ahead of the McLaren, followed by Angel's Ferrari and Aldo Scribanti's Lambo. Silvio worked his way through the squabbling pack, reaching 5th place, but by then the top 4 were well up the road and out of reach. Just behind him though, the tussle between Ibbotson, Colbert, Mia and Moodley was intense, swapping places by the lap as darkness loomed over the circuit. As the race reached the halfway point, Steven faced disaster. A wheel had worked loose, pitching the McLaren off the road at over 180 km an hour through hanger sweep, ending up only nosing the bank with remarkably little damage. The safety car was then dispatched, causing the battle to become incredibly tight, with Angel at just 1.5 seconds behind Arangis. So, Arangis put his hammer down and opened up the lead to an eventual 14.7 seconds. Angel duly banked the second place points, followed by Aldo and Silvio Scribanti. Marcel Angel and Ibbotson took Pro-Am class honours, while Mia claimed the Am class trophy. The grid from the second race of the weekend is based on lap times from the first race, so Arangis lined up on pole from Steven, Angel, Scribanti and the rest of the pack. Silvio Scribanti only needed 6 laps to latch onto the tail of the leading quartet before passing his brother for 4th. As the leading trio's pit stop strategies played out, Aldo stayed out and took the lead. At the midpoint of the race though, under braking for the hairpin, Silvio slid past Steven into second, but it all unraveled half a lap later when Silvio and Arangis clashed going into turn 1. When Aldo pitted, it was a slow stop which gifted the lead to Angel. The Ferrari driver opened up a sizable advantage over Steven, who was edging away from the Neveling Audi, and Silvio catching them all at a rapid pace. With 2 laps remaining, the unthinkable happened. The leading Ferrari rolled to a stop, out of fuel about 20 meters from the sister Ferrari of Marcel Angel and Ibbotson, who had a commanding 2-lap for themselves in the Pro-Am class at the time. With waved yellow flags for the flying for the stranded Ferraris and back markers being passed, Steven braked hard and was passed by both Silvio and Neveling. They both were penalised 1 each for overtaking under caution flags, restoring Steven back into the lead he had before the incident. Andrew Colbert took the Am class win and a superb result for his first time out in the rumbling Mercedes, beating his teammate Sam Moodley. Angel and Ibbotson were classified 10th and took the Pro-Am class win, while Dane Angel was disqualified for technical infringement. Even though Silvio crossed the line first, it was Michael Steven who took the win and the points. Silvio Scribanti lined up on pole for the final race of the weekend, ahead of Steven, Aldo Scribanti and the rest of the field. Angel unfortunately had to start last because he was excluded from the results of the previous race. Aldo passed Steven, battling into turn 1, only for Steven to clip Aldo ever so slightly, which sent the Lamborghini spinning into the middle of the circuit. The rest of the pack having to take avoiding action just to miss the parked Lamborghini. Angel rocketed into 4th. helped by the melee that was unfolding right in front of him. Silvio pitted at half distance along with Neveling and Steven, leaving Angel in the lead. Angel, a master strategist, found himself with clear air and no reason to pit, so left his compulsory stop until there was only 20 minutes remaining. In spite of the quick stop though, he emerged in third behind Neveling and Silvio. With 2 laps remaining, Ranjis came up to lap Chelsea Scribanti as they were approaching Hangar Sweep. The Lambo driver hugged the apex, leaving Ranjis to decide which way to pass, the slower car heading towards the hairpin. He chose left, as did Chelsea, which left the door open for Silvio to pass them under braking. Swooping into the lead, and despite Ranji's best efforts to catch up, Silvio streaked into the lead. Ranjis ended second ahead of Angel Jr. and Steven in fourth. Michael had to contend with a broken front splitter and backed off to preserve the car and limit damage to the splitter as it skidded on the ground under braking. Aldo brought his car home in fifth, followed by the AM Class winner Colbert in sixth. Sribanti Davidson and Pro-Am winners Marcel Angel and Jason Ibbotson in eighth. The second Ferrari Angel nursed a gearshift problem and made an unscheduled stop early to try and rectify the issue. Silvio managed to hold the lead right till the end and fittingly crossed the line first and took the championship with one event to spare.
So, how did you run out of fuel?
You better ask the guys from GT Club Sport how we ran out of fuel.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure what happened. It was really a terrible day. We were on it. As you know, Dan was probably 5 seconds ahead. 2 laps to go, ran out of fuel. Jason was leading the Pro-Am class. 2 laps to go, ran out of fuel. So I'm not quite sure what happened.
So the next race is home turf for you guys. We go to Cape Town.
Dodge 'em cars, bumper bandits, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, look, it'll be easy for us, home turf, and hopefully we'll get Dane all the way up the front, and Boston and I will just do whatever it is we do to make Dane get to the top.
You guys also going to get some time to kind of break the car in on the track and have some practice time before we get out there.
Yeah, I think, obviously this is, like today was Scribanti's home circuit. The next race is going to be our home circuit in Cape Town. So, we'll do a little bit of work with a car, with both cars in fact, and see if we can get into a position where we can certainly challenge for the win in Cape Town. I mean, I think that's the best situation we can be in, is to go to Cape Town, go home and win. We can't win the championship, but we'll certainly win the day. That's our challenge.
So I'm standing here with the championship winner, Silvio Scribanti. Tell me, how does it feel?
Man, it feels incredible, to say the least. I mean, this has been our dream from January this year, and we've had numerous, if you want to say, counseling sessions about being this, and I mean, yeah, anyway, I'm not going to elaborate too much, but it just feels absolutely amazing to be crowned the SA GD3 champion for 2022, and I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank my team. Byron, you and your team were exceptional this year. I mean, Aldo's lying second overall. We got 1 round, we got Cape Town to go, 2 rounds to go there, and to win the championship, to be the best team of the year, and to possibly be 1 and 2 in the championship. Well done, brother.
How do you feel being the team behind it?
It's incredible feeling. Like Silvio says, from the January that was our aim. So to top it off like this with a round to go, awesome. Now we concentrate on Aldo, make sure that we can get a second place in the championship, 1-2 championship and team championship. That's the way to do the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm proud of the drivers, proud of my team. We've put a lot of effort in, a lot of long hours. When everybody leaves here, we are still here at the track, trying this and trying that, and trying to make the best out of everything we can. So yeah, I'm ecstatic. I'm very happy.
And for Silvio to bring it home on home soil is also just as amazing, right?
I just can't stop smiling, to be honest. I'm actually quite sore, but yeah, it's like a deep smile inside. I'm just so proud. I mean, to be able to do it in my hometown, it's really I drove hard. I really wanted to.
Well done, well done. Great.
He was lucky. He was just lucky. He was just lucky. He's just lucky.
That's it, man. Well done.
Thank you, my dad, for making it happen for the last race. Well done, Dad.
Well done, bud. Guys, keeping him there. Excellent. From Sectra, Chairman of Sectra, congratulations. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Well managed this year. Yeah, keep it in place. Well done.
Thank you.
I think whilst I have all of you guys here, we could make this a 1-2 finish for the championship, right, Aldo?
Man, I've just heard from Byron there. The race is on in Killarney, Cape Town on the 9th, 10th of December. So, yeah, there's definitely, that would be the golden finish, the golden egg. So, yeah, we're certainly going to try for a 1-2. We got the team championship, we got the singles championship, drivers champs. So, yeah, we're going to give that 100%.
It looks as though I'll have to join them in Cape Town to help them again.
At the end of the day, you need a little bit of dad now and again, right? Well, congratulations, guys, and we'll see you in Killarney.
While the celebrations in the Scribanti pits were kicking it up a notch, it was time to start the 2 3-hour back-to-back SAE races. With only a 30-minute break in between the two races, it was a great opportunity for competitors to catch up on any missed opportunities from earlier on in the season. Here's what happened in round 5 and 6 of the SAE. Rian Botma set the pace in qualifying, planting his auto investment Ligier on pole with a lap of 57.73 seconds, just 0.27 seconds quicker than the 8-call 24/7 Rico Bolo Racing Ligier of Nick Adcock, Michael Jensen, and now joined by DTM trophy driver Mikael Patamba, who found great success at the beginning of the season. Michael Stephen and the returning Paul Hill took third in the Kalex Aston Martin Vantage GT3 with a time of 58.4 seconds, just 0.6 seconds slower than McLaughlin and Clark's brand new backdraft Slingshot. The Slingshot, sporting different body panels and a bigger spoiler, looked very menacing on the day. The third row saw Charles Rangi's Arnold Neveling in a Lamborghini GT3, an older spec than what they're used to, but still fast nonetheless. They were ahead of Hein Lateghan, Tavares in their BBR Porsche 992 GT3 Cup. The championship leader Kwanda Mokoena partnered once again with his uncle Chop Sepuka, and they lined up 7th in the Amandla Cole MJR Motorsport Audi R8. Rolf Duplessis was right next to them in the Ultimate Outlaws Chev Lumina. The V8 Monster was part of a Southern African endurance experiment to test the feasibility of introducing a new SAE V8 class next season. Botma led the field during the opening 10 minutes, closely followed by Patamba, the pair of Ligiers quickly opening a gap to the Aston Martin. Patamba slipped past Botma for the lead, but was forced to retire after 12 laps with no fuel pressure. Shortly after, Botma pitted his Ligier with an electrical problem, which ultimately forced the retirement after 69 laps. Hill took the lead, which he and Stephen built up at a frenetic pace, who once again had a huge fight with Mokoena and Sepuka and the Iranji's Lambo. The new backdraft Slingshot was also in the thick of action until the brand new car retired with an engine management issue. With 45 minutes remaining, Iranji suffered a blown engine which caused the lengthy safety car period as the oil was mopped up, leaving Mokoena and Sepuka to cruise to 3rd place overall. Team Pesty headed the backdraft fleet for 45 minutes until the car got stuck in 5th gear, but the pair soldiered on, adapting their driving style to suit their new circumstances and were rewarded with a stunning 4th overall and classy honours ahead of the Roberto brothers and the Van Niekerk Polo. The Morgan Reed father and son team, Christian was unfortunately absent writing exams, ended 6th, ahead of Adlam Barnard, who suffered an electrical issue which caused multiple pit stops. Polomisa and Rubulutsa ended 8th overall ahead of De Souza and Pathers Roadster. The Creative Inc. Golf with a late call-up for Polo Cup racer Clinton Besaidenout joined the squad, retired with a down-on-power engine.
Right behind me on stage, Jessie Clegg performing live. This is what we do for the Southern African Endurance Series. Make sure that you get your tickets for the next race happening in Killarney.
Alison Horn suffered a broken tie rod which saw Horn arrive at the hairpin backwards. The following drivers just managed to squeeze past the stricken backdraft, with Team Pesty taking to the gravel in avoidance. Zank Marshall had a failed clutch after a spring work loose and jammed it, causing another retirement in a race of attrition. Mokoena and Sepuka took the index of performance honours, but in the end, it was Hill and Stephen who crossed the line first in the incredibly consistent and stunning Aston Martin GT3. The 6-hour race was split in half at the competitors' request, so the grid lined up as they crossed the line at the 3-hour mark. Paul Hill was nursing a recovering shoulder and elected not to start while the Rico Barlow crew was still frantically finishing the repair job on the Ligier, which was traced to a chafed wire leading to the fuel pump. The job was finished 2 laps after the start of the race, but after 35 minutes of scintillating driving, Patamba had the Ligier in the lead. Mokoena and Sepuka in the Audi had a tyre blowout about 10 minutes into the race and were left having to fight their way through the field. As the race unfolded, Tavares, racing for the first time in the dark, came in for the driver change and full service, including new tyres and a full tank of fuel. Moments later, the repaired Bottmar Kruger Ligier blew its motor, so the safety car was deployed while the marshals mopped up the oil. Sepuka pitted for a quick splash and dash, which gave the Audi duo a 2 clear lap lead over the Lategan Tavares Porsche. The never say die attitude of the backdraft team saw the return of the old backdraft slingshot for Mike McLaughlin and Steve Clark. The car wasn't set up, but the duo drove the machine hard and ended up in 4th place as their reward. Class E saw a huge fight between the backdrafts of Adlam Barnard and the Pretorius father and son Pesty pair, and of course that of father and son Morgenroot crew. The Pretorius family was suffering with a stuck 5th gear from the start of the race and were concerned that they might be rammed from behind at the start. Adlam prevailed in spite of a puncture. Mackie Adlam fought hard from behind to catch up with Pretorius and Morgenroot, while the fight for second in class boiled down to a 5-second gap between the Pretorius and the Morgenroot pairs.
It's about where speed meets sound. Not only do you get amazing races happening throughout the day, but you also get a concert in the evening. We had Jessie Clegg earlier, and right behind me at the moment is Good Luck rocking out the crowd. So make sure you attend the next event in the beginning of December in Cape Town at Killarney.
David and Roberto Franco survived their first ever night race, and with Dani van Niekerk, they brought their Polo home in a solid 8th and took the Class D win. Paetha and De Souza initially held 2nd place in Class E, but were forced to nurse the car home with a failing clutch, ending 9th overall and 4th in class. Alison Horn and Zank Marshall ended up 10th and 11th respectively. Holomisa Rubulutsa faced their first retirement since they started racing after the oil pressure dropped, while Dango Patamba Sr. retired with a blown engine. After an incredibly grueling race, it was Adcock, Patamba and Jensen who took the flag, with your championship leaders Mokoena and Sepuka in 2nd place.
Paul, you're in the garage for the second race. What's happening?
Well, I had surgery a year ago, 18 months ago on my shoulder. I haven't really practiced enough or done sprint races enough, so coming into this race was touch and go. And then after now, the pain just got too much. Where I was running 1 minute ones, which is about 4 seconds quicker than what I expected the race pace to be. Car went well, I didn't.
It is an unfortunate event when that would happening, but you had a great person in the car with you. Michael Stephen was supporting you as you guys were driving through.
Yeah, look, Michael's the go-to guy when you're in trouble. But look, we've learned Michael can do the distance. I need to work on the distance. If you want Michael to do the 3-hour race now, I'm sure he'll go out and do it. So.
100%.
No, he's actually scratching his hand, itching. He's scratching his hand, itching. They've only done one lap. You'll catch him. Do you want to go?
Are we allowed to?
So this was more to see. Okay, Michael's always ready to see if I'm ready for the endurance series, but come to realize there's quite a bit of work I still have to do on the fitness and the shoulder. Funny enough, the physio actually spoke to me the other day and she says, I'll book you for Monday morning.
Oh, shame.
I'll see you, man. Yeah, she knew what was coming. So, no, it's just a fitness thing and strength.
All right. Are we going to be seeing you on the grid again in Killarney?
No, my daughter's racing Killarney. I don't think I'm going to make 3 hours. I have to build this up first. So I think Michael will be racing with her in her Polo Cup.
Yep.
Modified Polo Cup. And I'll see what other driver I can get to go with us. Yeah.
Won't even pull a 3-year in the car? 3 people in the car?
Yeah, you have to have 3 people for 9 hours. You can't do 2 people over 9 hours. It's far too much.
Yeah.
Look, Kara and Michael must probably do the 9 hours, but I'm not letting her to show me up.
Okay.
Simple as that.
But perfect. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
I think I was listening to the commentators in studio a little bit earlier. They're very disappointed to not see the Aston Martin out on track. You guys really came out and gave everybody a show.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic car. It's got such a presence. You walk, amongst the fans and the people down the pit lane, and everyone just comes and says, how good it sounds and how it looks on track. But it'll be back.
Yeah, it's not that. It was the first time we were seeing the car in the series this year. It's definitely not the last.
Definitely not the last, yeah.
Cool, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The SAE Championship will go down to the wire in a grueling 9-hour race that takes place at Killarney Raceway on the 9th and 10th of December. The double points will certainly provide the best possible climax for what has been an incredible season so far. The SA GT Championship might have been decided, but we can expect a blockbuster event with many competitors and even some international names joining the grid. That's it from us at the penultimate round of the South African Endurance Series. Stay tuned for all the information on our socials, and maybe we'll see you on the 9th or the 10th at Killarney Raceway in December. Until then, goodbye.